Hello and welcome to Bread of Life, a daily devotional program which each week features a different area pastor. Our speaker for this week is Pastor Stephen Harvey of Bloomfield.
Have you ever had one of those seasons where everything is just right? Life seems to be going perfectly. You're happy, you're comfortable, your world is manageable, and then suddenly, without any warning, comes the unthinkable, and abruptly, life is anything but manageable or even understandable. If you're like me, the first thought is something like, "Where did you go, God?" But if we will allow Him to speak into the chaos, we might find that He actually has something for us in the midst of our uncertainty, because it's not always the devil that's disrupting our life. Sometimes it's God stirring up your nest. From Deuteronomy 32, one day Moses was out in the high wilderness, and he looked through the cleft of the rock from a high vantage point, and he sees a mother eagle stirring up the nest, and he sees the eaglets as they're being moved, shuffled around further to the edge of the nest. So Moses grabs a pen and he begins to write what is called the Song to Israel. And he says, "As an eagle stirs up the nest, so God will deal with Israel." He was educated in the finest of Egyptian schools for 40 years, and then educated by God in the wilderness for another 40 years. And then he led God's people for 39 more years after that. He is now 119 and a half years old when he writes this song. Moses knew this truth about eagles. Eagles mate for life. And also the process in which the female eagle picks her mate is very interesting. And this in itself is a great lesson to learn. Watch what the beautiful female eagle does. She takes a stick because she's about to put the man that she's about to marry through a series of tests to find out if he's worthy. She flies to a mountain peak, and there he comes, flying, chasing after her. And when she reaches a lofty height, high over the valley, then she drops that stick, and all of a sudden the male eagle, he realizes, oh, she wants me to pick that up. And he starts flying down well over 100 miles per hour. He's in a nosedive, and he grabs that stick in midair and brings it back to her. The female eagle repeats this process many times at different levels of heights, dropping sticks, and she makes it hard for the male eagle to catch them because she is making sure that the male eagle that is pursuing her can catch all the sticks. And here is the beauty of why she tests him like this, and this is what Moses was writing about. It's the mother eagle that stirs up the nest, and when the time is right, she will toss that little eaglet out of that nest, and that is her job. But it is the father eagle who circles, and she is testing him to know that when she stirs up the nest and their children go tumbling and falling and squawking towards rock bottom, that the father eagle is powerful enough and fast enough and smart enough to not let them fall and ultimately be destroyed. The message to somebody today is this: when life feels like you're tumbling and falling and your nest has been stirred up and everything seems like the bottom has fallen out of your life and it looks like the rocks are getting closer and closer, you have a Father in heaven who can fly faster than you can fall. That's what Moses is saying here. And though it may feel like you're falling, you will not be destroyed. You may feel cast down, but you will ultimately find yourself in the loving arms of God, grabbing you and rescuing you and picking you up and placing you where you belong. So don't lose heart. He will not let you be destroyed. He will not let you crash.
You've been listening to Pastor Stephen Harvey of Bloomfield, and this has been Bread of Life, a program to encourage you from God's Word.